Mætt. Komin inn. Kíkja. Ég byrja bara að séra. Ég held að það var svona. Þannig ég ætla bara að byrja hér. Segð bara, þú veist, kynna. Og
Kannski kynna okkur báða bara. Nei.
Jú.
Þannig ég bara í sem kem ég bara inn.
Einmitt.
Getur maður sem gert automatist að hleypa fólki inn eða?
Já, svo segir bara admit all hana.
Já. En þú veist að því að síðan ef einhver kemur seinna inn.
Já, ég skal bara, ég held að þeir fari bara beint inn, en verður kannski bara mónitora það bara.
Já, ég mónitora það bara.
Hérna, sjá. Já, það var. Okay. Já, ég ætla að segja bara. Það tala rólega og skýrt og pása frekar heldur en að hika. Það er alltaf þægilega.
Hvað segir þið?
Ég bara segja we're going to be hosting a few of these webinar sessions in the coming weeks and months. Fórstu eitthvað yfir listan af fólkinu?
Nei, ég var ekki sko. Og þegar þú ert búinn, það spurði hvort þú verður tilbúinn á súperadmin ADF.
Súperadmin.
Ef þú verður að logga inn á bara sem súperadmin ADF.
Já, herri, gerði eitt fyrir mig meðan við erum bara testa, getur þú ekki örgulega deilt skjá? Getur þú farið í sér og bara, þetta er bara eitthvað. Ok. Já. Okay. Ætlar að hafa entire screen eða?
Já, ég ætla að hafa svona.
Ok. En hættu nú að presenta. Give me my screen back. Ef að hérna, hvað sjá, period times. Koma það inn hellingar note-takerum.
Note-takerum?
Verðum hvort við viljum leyfa þá?
Nei, ég held að ekki leyfa note-takerum.
En þá þarf þú annað að sko hleypa þeim eða remova. Já. En breytir það einhverju?
Ef þú ert með note-taker þá er þeir að taka upp.
Já.
Hvað sér þið? Splifargitir?
Já, ég menna, þú veist.
Já, þetta er að byrja.
Sko, við getum náttúrulega bara manually adda öllum.
Nei.
Ég bara adda öllum. Þú veist, fólk getur líka alltaf tekið þér.
Það er léleg mæting. 12.
Ég klukkan ekki á þeim. Það var svona.
helmingurinn að það er nóttekar.
Sjáum bara til. Þetta er líka bara fyrir okkur að eiga þetta.
Jú, þegar það sem að ég sá fyrir mér sko, og getur gert síðan, er að búa til svona, ekki svona vitsett,
Snippets bara.
Snippets, þú veist, bara hei, þú veist, eftir vandrar með þetta, gera eitthvað svona.
Einmitt. Herri, ég ætla bara að hleypa allir minn, svo ætla ég bara að segja svona eitthvað, hello everyone, just gonna give it a few more seconds before we officially start.
Það er greinilega átt mitt.
Hello everyone, welcome. We're just gonna give it 4 seconds. Waiting for everyone to join.
Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are.
So, welcome. Quick introductions. My name is Bjorn, and I'm the CPO of carbonregistry.com. And sitting alongside me is Guðmundur, CEO of ICR, or International Carbon Registry. So as you probably know, hopefully, we're going to do a simple webinar going through our platform, and we have decided to set up a few of these webinars now in the coming weeks and months, focusing on different aspects of the platform. So in this particular webinar, we're just going to be focusing on the user and organization onboarding and the start of the project registration journey. Yep. And these are kind of the topics that we'll be covering. So as you can see here, creating a user account, going through KYC and KYB. However, we'll not be going through in particular, but we'll show how they work and how they should work. Then we're going to go through creating an organizational account, basic overview of the platform, and then creating a project and going through the registration process. And we're going to have a short Q&A at the end of the session, and just a few logistics. You should be able to create a Q&A question. If you click on the dots in the bottom right corner, you should see the Q&A section there, and there you can create the questions, and we will answer them as they arrive in the end of the meeting or webinar. So let's just dive in. Let me see here. So basically, when you're going to start onboarding onto our platform, you can just from the website, from carbonregistry.com, pretty much just go up in the top right corner, click there to sign up, and you will be taken into the app or the dashboard itself. There are different ways to create an account. You can use the traditional way of creating a user and pass, which I'm going to do in this case, or you can use the Google, Microsoft, or LinkedIn ways. Then you pretty much just authenticate using those methods. See here, 1, 2, 3. When you create an account using password, user pass, you will need to verify your email. You won't need to do that if you create an account using the other services, since we already use those services to verify your account. But quickly, you'll just get an email and a code to input and verify your account. So here we are in the user-facing dashboard of the platform. And we both have a user-facing dashboard and then obviously an organizational-facing dashboard. So the first, just quickly run through a few items here. You can see some on the left side here, some onboarding guides, registering a project guide, and documentation and terms and conditions. Then some platform statistics. This current version, we're using a development platform, so these numbers don't mean anything. Here on the right, you can see some insights from different organizations or projects which are posting through our insights network. And now quickly, just going through the KYC. You can see here on the top, there's a banner telling you to complete your KYC. Now, we use a service called Tactical, which uses also a service called Verif, an international KYC and KYB service providers. This is, you're probably familiar with this, but you pretty much just need to have a physical copy of your ID, whether it's a password or any identification card. And it's very important to not have a photo of the ID. You actually have to have the actual ID in front of you, because they have some analytics AI scanners that can detect that. So pretty much just add your name, phone number, and then proceed to the KYC verification, which in our instance, like I mentioned before, happens off platform. When you finish this is fully automatic. You will pretty much be sent back to our platform and have a KYC check on our platform. But let's go through creating an organization. So everything happens through an organization, whether it's creating a project, issuing credits, transferring, retiring, etc. So quickly, you just enter a company name. Add the website. Can add the logo here now, or you can do it later. Read through the terms and conditions, which I'm not going to do in this case. Here are also terms and conditions. We can read through them. Now to the next step. So we have here you can select the type of organization that you are going to be creating on our platform. So in this case, since we're focusing on registering a project, you will either be creating a project proponent or a developer. And in this case, we're going to create a project developer, but you can also then create another or create organization, whether it's a marketplace, broker, exchange, etc. Now you can skip this onboarding, but we're just going to go through the steps. In this case, you can also then go back to it and complete it later. But just general information, contact email, contact phone, some socials, etc. This is information that we mostly use for your public profile. Select a country, city and a street address. Here we also have another classification of your company, whether what industry it adheres to. Then you can tell us a little bit more about your company if you want to. So basically, we are looking at an organizational profile. Here in the top, you can see a banner asking you to confirm your organization's identity. Now, this is similar to the KYC process. However, this is not fully automatic, since we manually need to go through the evidence or the documents you provide. But it's a similar flow. You just add your name, phone, and then go through the verification process. So just quickly, since we're going to be creating a project here, like most actions on the platform happen through the organizational profile or the organizational account. Sorry, you can switch back to your user account here, and also if you have many organizations, you can switch from one organization to another here in the top right corner. Here on the left, just going quickly through the sidebar, we have some projects that are connected to your organization. Some users, you can add different users and can assign them different user roles. Also, just quickly going to go through the accounts. So what this is essentially is a sub-account system. So if you're, for example, a project developer and you're developing projects for different project proponents, this has been a handy tool for you to create the project proponent account, so you can manage different project proponent accounts through the system. So those organizations don't necessarily need to be hands-on in our platform, and you can manage all activities through here, whether it's just the regular registration processes, issuing credits, transferring credits, or billing, and etc. Now, documents here, you will have a list of the documents. This will mostly be the KYB related documents. And then some settings, just general settings, location, contact, visibility, if you want to have your public profile visible, public inventory, and then billing information. And I'll go through that in a bit in more detail. And then payments, you can see some charges here. You can especially see some project-related charges. So all registration, pre-registration, and registration charges, and issuance charges, etc. And the credit section, we will go better through that later in this webinar, and then also in another webinar where we're focusing more on the credit issuance and transferring and trading credits, etc. But let's just quickly go through registering a project. So to be able to register a project with us, you have to have an active paid account. You can either choose to pay monthly or annually, and you can pay by credit card or invoice, get an invoice, which and you can pay via bank transfer. So let's just quickly add some very detailed billing information. And then you accept the terms. So now you have created a paid account, and I'm just quickly going to create a project. So first step is just general information. You choose the program, the ICR or FCC, currently available on our platform. When is the start date of the project? A full name for the project. And since a lot of projects have very long and descriptive name, we have also provided this project headline, which is very handy. So you can just add that here. Is this a grouped project? You pretty much just click here. If so, if this project is transitioning from another standard or another registry, you can click here, provide us with a link to the project, and then upload a statement of no issuance. And lastly, here you will specify the project ownership of this project. So whether you are the sole developer and owner of the project, or if the owner has an existing account on our platform, you can find the owner here and select it. Or if you need to create a managed sub account to manage this project. And so let's just go with the developer and owner being ourselves. So just before I hand it over to Gummi or Guðmundur, here we are looking at the project registration dashboard. So this is pretty much in essence just the home of each project, all information related to that project. And you can see here in the top, under just beneath the name of the project, the process or the status of each project, what is missing from our information and documents that are needed for the next step of the registration process. But yeah, should I just hand it over to you, Gummi?
Maybe so. So
Yes.
if you stop sharing, and I will start sharing. Now I will. All right. So now, for the purpose of the project registration, I have split screens here. So I'm already logged in as a user under a developer account and a user under a VVB account. So on the right side, you will see the VVP account, and under on the left side, you'll see user access to a developer account. So this is the personal account of this guy called Cliff Carpo, and he has he's an admin user of a developer account called Carbon Advisory Solution Limited. Of course, all the information here is mock-up, and some are made more for fun than anything else. So now, like Björn showed it before, now it had limited information because the account was just created. But here we see that this developer has some unpaid invoices. Here's the account ID that is relevant for transfers later. Here you can see the project. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Involvement in projects. So there are 3 projects that this developer is a member, is affiliated with, and here are some credits that the developer is holding. You can see some insights that the developer has posted on our Insights platform that serves similar to LinkedIn or Facebook or similar to share information and updates in the market. And then, yeah, a little bit about so sorry. Here's the overview. Here you can see more details about the project that this developer is affiliated with. So I've made some demo projects here, and there are different stages that I will run through. Again, under the users. So again, this is the organizational account. There are then users of that organizational account. So if I want to add my colleague to this account, and I know that he is not supposed to make any changes or doesn't have an authority to do so. So I will just look for my friend Dan Bayer. He has already created an account, so I can add him as a member of this organizational account. You can choose if it's just a read only or an admin to this to the account. And I will just invite Dan to join this our account, and he will get a notification through the system and via email. And I can also just create a user if I know that my colleague doesn't have an account. Then I'll just create the user for my colleague, providing his or her name and the user email. Then they will get the notification, and they will be on. And then, like Björn went through, the KYC process. That is important for us that we because it will make sense in a bit. But please don't share your credentials of your user accounts, because we use this as an audit log to know who did what on the platform. Yeah. Then on the sub accounts. So for the purpose of this demo, I have created sub accounts because there's a developer managing projects on behalf of proponents that are different. So there are 3 different sub accounts here. Here are if I would have completed the KYB, those documents would be populated here. Again, the settings, and here below the transactions. Because Björn has showed you how to initiate the project registration, I'll just go ahead and look at some of the projects that are different stages of registration. So here you would see that a very scientific project with huge impacts has been drafted. This has not undergone any admin review, so it's just a draft. If I click this project, you see that it has been populated with the most of the information that are needed. And like Björn went through, this is in draft. Now it's almost ready to be to allow request for pre-registration. So we only thing remaining is to upload the draft PDD, and for this we will assign it under the relevant documentation type. I can then go here to my demo files. I will just drag and drop this file and upload that. So now you will see that this button for request for pre-registration has been green, so I can click here, and I'm asked for some billing information. I probably need to do that as well. Now I'll just billing.
If you already filled this out, then obviously this will not be needed to do again.
And pre-registration. So this creates a pre-registration request. For the, and now you can see that now you have requested the pre-registration, and now some other items open up because this is now progressing in the project cycle. So the next phase would be the VVP, uploading the final PDD and the environmental and socio-economic safeguard tool, validation plan, etc., etc. So when you have request pre-registration or any review by the ICR, there is a version that is created on our system. So we take a snapshot of how the documentation looks like, the information looks like, and this is what we are reviewing. And we are either confirming that this information is according to the requirements and our expectations or not. So here you can see the request, and the admin view, or the super admin view, which we call it, will then determine if it's sufficient or it's there are some clarification that are needed. For the sake of the pre-registration, we will create a channel here under the Carbon Connect, where we communicate throughout the lifetime of this project. So if we click here, then you would see that we have created a chat channel between the developer or the relevant stakeholders in this project. So maybe if you confirm the pre-registration, so I can continue. So here's the only one that is in this chat now is this Cliff Carpo and Azure admins.
Maybe while I do that, you could just go quickly through like the project dashboard, like the items that are there.
Just about the items here. Of course, I'm so experienced in doing this. Don't forget to what are we calling for? So here we are calling for the sector. You just click here, select the sector. If there's sector, you can add that as well. If the methodology, the relevant methodology, you can choose that from a pre-populated list. If there are any deviations from the methodology, you can do that, and then confirm the methodology. Start date, you can change that if you made any mistakes in the beginning. Description of the project. Here you can see the stakeholders in this project. Here's the Carbon Advisory Solutions. It's the project developer, and Huge Impact Company is the project owner. And later there will be added more stakeholders in this project. The impacts of the project, we selected this avoidance reduction project, sequestration, or hybrid. For if it's a reduction, here we are calling for crediting. If the project intends to renew the crediting period, if it has a host country approval under Article 6, here we say the same about the crediting period start date. decrediting period, and type in and provide information about the estimation of the project and the MRV cycle. Go again here. Here, if the project has some SDGs, you can select them here, provide the description about the SDG and how any SDG is monitored. Same for the additionality part. So it's a layered approach or benchmark approach. So level 1, describe how it meets that particular level. The same for level 2, describe how it meets the additionality. For sake of transparency, here you can see the location of the project and a KML file. And as of now, we have not assigned any VVP to the project, but we've disclosed the validation criteria. And as this is just a validation, it's not any verification criteria. Location. About the location, but you can either upload a KML file, you can use the
built-in Google Maps.
Built-in Google Map and select that from that map, and then finally you can type in the city, state, region, zip code, etc., etc. Benefits, VVP. So now I assume that Björn has completed this. Yeah. So now you can see that this pre-registration has been confirmed, and it's now under development. You would then see that this project has a public profile. On the public side, then you would see that this project is listed there if it loads. Sometimes there's some
it's on a development server.
Yeah. So here it is on the public. So documentation, etc., etc. Going back to going back here to developers project here. So now I'll go to the next project that has is a little bit further along in the process. So now I will, because I now have a contract with VVP, I will then identify that VVP. Here, I will save that. What will happen now on the right-hand side? Remember I told you about that. I have here the VVP profile. So here I have been asked, the organization was added as a validation body to this project. I can, and this is like a handshake. Like, yes, we have been assigned to this project. So now I'm looking at it from the VVP side. We have some users from the VVP account. So Jónína, Hrafntinna, and Þórður, they are a member of the VVP. They are admins, and here Hrafntinna, she is an auditor, and she has a limited access to change information here. So Jónína, she is logged in. She notices that this Surya Solar Park project has been assigned to or has been contracted. So she will from here manage the auditors of this project. I will search for I will add an auditor here. So I will add Hrafntinna to become a member of this project. So Hrafntinna will now have been added as a user to this project. So public here. So you can see that now the VVP has assigned Hrafntinna to become the auditor of this project, and you can see that there's an auditor here identified, and auditors have limited capabilities or administrative privileges, but they are only limited to certain actions relating to validation. and uploading documentation. Same as we did in the organizational account, the projects are also governed by users, so we can add other users again. So I will maybe add my friend Dan again. And the different roles are a read-only access, admin access. Admin, they are the only ones that can request any actions to be performed by the ICR admin. Auditor, they upload validation verification plans, the validation verification reports, etc., etc. And then editors. Editors can change the information on the profile, but they cannot request the ICR to do anything in terms of the any review or similar. So here you can see that the owner is now identified, the project developer is identified, and the VVP or the validation body has been identified as a stakeholder. Now you can see that there are 3 identified in this project, and the project has, I can then, if I just complete this, can upload the remaining documentation that are needed to progress this to under validation. And validation verification plan. So here's the, forgot to mention this, here you choose if it, or disclose if this is a draft document or is a complete document, and or if the document is intended to be publicly disclosed. You can also manage this afterwards. Upload this. So now you should be able to publish this for review or under validation. So I will do that. Björn will confirm that.
Mm-hmm.
You will see that this is a new version created, and yeah. Now under Carbon Connect, you would see that there has been some communication because of this project. The admin has shared some info, started some conversation, and now confirmation of that this project has confirmed under development, and that communicating that what's the next step.
Mm-hmm. And should I confirm?
Yeah, you can confirm it, but I will go next to the next
and the status
final project. We'll go again. So now I will. Okay. Maybe have you confirmed the? Yeah. So now
the Surya Solar Park project.
All right. Now, yeah, I can see that now the update. You need to change the status of the project to under validation. So I will request again. So I need to do. Now I request again for review, and Björn will.
And just to highlight, which you probably see and understand, is that we keep a version of every track changes that's happened in the project registration process for just added auditability and yes, provenance.
Yeah, and again, and to the user and not sharing user account, we also track the history of the project.
Mm-hmm.
Changes to the project profile, so you can see who is doing what, and so if there are a mistake, we can track them. So now waiting for Björn to.
Mm-hmm. So under validation.
Yep. And confirm. And now there's a public version. The final step is then to upload the final validation report and the statement of no issue. So for this, it's the public document. Upload. And now you see that like the validation report or the validation report is missing. Now we are in the VVP section. So we will go here. So this is the VVP user. I will also assign Jonina to be a part of this. Manage auditors. I will add Jonina as well to the project so she can change, so she can upload the relevant documentation. Now, Jonina is asked, you were added as an auditor to the project. Will you accept the stake? She will do that. Now she will see that the validation report is missing. So she will upload the validation report, and now everything is green. So of course, normally some information is changed between the pre-registration and the final validation, but it's not relevant for this, for the purpose of this demo. So for the documents, just run through that. So you can see here that here are the Azure Environmental Social Economic Safeguards. You can see when they were uploaded, who uploaded that. You can control the public disclosure of the relevant documents. Well, of course, I did not, like the Jonina, she did not upload the document, so she cannot change the public or private disclosure of the document. That's for the Cliff Carpo user to do. So here you can see that he should be able to, yeah. So now I can see that I've changed the public private disclosure of this document, and you can see that the validation report was uploaded by the auditor. So yeah, so also noting, and I forgot to mention that, for the project, we also encourage you to upload some pictures, videos, or yeah, something that showcases in pictures or visually something about the project. Yeah, so now this project has completed everything. Validation is completed, and now it's due for registration. So now I'll create a registration request. Still. Save project, and again now that creates a request on the backend for the admin to review the final documentation package for completeness, quality, and so on. Then the admin takes over. We conduct a review. We communicate again through the Carbon Connect with the project users. I'll go. So for example, the final project here. Yep, balance. So here you can see that under Carbon Connect, there's a lot of communication between the ICR admin and the project developer and the auditor. So communicating. So we communicate any minor findings or any like discussion relating to the project here, but like the major like the review, we communicate that through a report, like a what we call the review report that is uploaded to the documentation, and it's for the developers and the VVP to respond to formally. Okay.
And just to underline, I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, is that we felt the need to introduce the Carbon Connect, because the projects essentially they have a long lifetime, and especially going through the registration that can take up to like 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Sometimes people come and go, and we felt like email threads is kind of a hard place to keep track of information, especially in relations to the whole validation and verification process and other communications. So this is more of an aggregator and a story of the whole project.
Okay. Now, if you would just confirm the validation of this final review and select it and like as validated. And I also want to show you like in the other project under versions here, the first version was rejected. So, and the admin communicated something to the developer that there was some inconsistency in the documentation and the information. The second version was confirmed with comment from the admin. Next version was rejected, then so on and so forth until it was finally accepted as validated or registered under the ICR. Go again to the other project. Sometimes this takes a little bit of time when we are doing the final registration, because now we are deploying, because we use the database for the credits are on blockchain. So we need to deploy like the estimation to the chain. We will create the respective vintages with the estimated amount of credits coming in the future based on the validation, a validated estimation.
The project is validated.
Yep, and confirm. And so on. But we are, of course, now accepted here. And now I can go into issuance. So if I want to issue credits, so I can either issue credits as ex ante credits if the project is of that project type, meets certain additionality threshold or has insurance, that is eligible for issuing ex ante. If this project has completed verification, monitoring verification, it can then issue ex post credits. So if I will go so imagine that this project has been verified as well. Go 303 to the project and go. We will need to go to the owner of this project. You will see under inventory, you will see that there's a plus for issue. So this is the credit inventory. So I will issue, I can issue credits here. So select the project. I can choose either ex ante issuance or ex post issuance. If I choose the ex ante, I just provide the amount of credits that are supposed to be. So of course, ex ante is something that happens in the future. I can issue 2,000 credits of this vintage and confirm the issuance request. So similar to a version or a pre-registration request, we get a notification in the system, which we then look at. If the project meets that underlying requirement, then we approve or reject the issuance request. I think Björn is now executing confirmation of the request. And as I mentioned before, on what happens on blockchain is that now we are actually issuing something. What we're doing in the at validation or registration, we're just stating what is expected. Now some instrument has been have been processed or issued. Now these are ex-ante instruments that they will populate here in a while. But if I want now to issue ex-post credits, I can do the same here. I will select here the monitoring period. So I think this project was 2023. And I will issue maybe 20. I've just completed the monitoring for a year here. 9 and 24. I will then upload the verification report and the monitoring report. I will type in the numbers from the verification report. So say that for the there was a little bit less than the estimation. Then we just state that, and there was a little bit more for the next visits. And confirm. Now I'm creating an ex-post issuance request. You can see here pending issuance. And Björn is finalizing this. We will then do a similar review as before on the active registration. So a review of the monitoring report and the verification report, submit a review report on the same, and then confirming if confirming the issuance.
And you can perhaps go, if you click into go back into the issuance request. If you click into the ID or the other one. So, or can you go back into
the other issuance request here?
This one. And can you see if you press here and that?
Yeah.
So since we're doing this on blockchain, like all credit actions are handled on the blockchain, we have information regarding all transactions, whether that is issuances, transfers, retirements, obviously, and you can track them. All information is in the public, and you can even go into the registry here and go into transactions. So here you can monitor for yourself, track all of those transactions that have happened, and you can both see them, how we present them in our system. If you go into one transaction, maybe just like maybe another one that's
this one,
retirement. So here you can see a retirement, and then you can see the transaction itself on the blockchain ledger. So if you click here, we are using Polygon. Not to go too deeply into this, just showcasing like the auditability of all of those credits that are being transacted.
So we use blockchain as a database essentially for our credit inventory. So everything is publicly auditable. All transactions. So going back to the issuance request.
So if you go back to the inventory now, so here you can see.
Okay. So inventory, we have the ex-ante instruments. They have been issued. Then we can transfer them, and that we will cover how we transact with credits in our next webinar. But like that, this essentially concludes the registration presentation. So if you have any questions, feel free to
pop them in the Q&A.
Yeah, pop them up in the Q&A, and feel free to, you're welcome to respond to any questions. And please keep them platform related.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. Let's just quickly dive into some. I'm just want to add a few things. I mean, there are obviously, the platform is in development. and there are a few things that we are very excited to showcase both in the near future and then the long term. Some of those things are obviously, or are not obviously, but obvious to us in relation to the whole VVB process, which we are looking into streamlining a bit more, both by just polishing the current flows inside our platform, but also, since I see one question here from Harry, if we just jump into the questions. As a VVB, can we push those documents directly via API from another system, or do we need to jump into the platform to share project information? So currently, I mean, the platform is very API focused. We allow a lot of API actions currently for organizations, or maybe just share quickly screen here. See here. So if you're in if you have an organizational account, you can create. You can see here on the left-hand side, we have APIs where you can create access tokens, and then you can access our API. There are some basic functionality that you can act on currently, like transferring credits, retire credits, etc. Obviously, just tied to your organization. But we are also looking into connecting to other service providers such as VVB. So definitely, just to quickly answer your question, yeah, we will be looking into that. It's not possible as of yet, but it's in the close future. We see here.
Is there any user menu guide for this, and how the system admin can be changed? How many admin is allowed? So there are, like, during the KYP, we want to know that you are authorized to represent us. This organization that automatically allows you to be an admin, and as an admin, you can then authorize as many admins as you feel are needed to the platform.
Yeah.
So there are no limitation on how many admins can be added. On the user guide, there are some under our documentation page, documentation.corporateregister.com. There is a user guide, but as we are rolling out new features, it's sometimes not always up to date.
Yeah.
But like for the user, like management of the account, management of users, that should be up to date as of now.
Yeah. And just to underline, we are currently going through our user guides and reworking them, making them clearer and more in line with how the platform is today rather than yesterday. I see another question here regarding type and role of a user after they've already been added under users. With admin role, try clicking 3 dots on the right, but only 2 options show up: leave and resend an invitation. So basically, you can manage. If you have added a user as a viewer, you can promote them to an admin, but you can't demote them, which is basically the issue I think you're dealing with here. So currently, you can send us an email through support@carbonlegacy.com, and we can do it for you. Or you can simply remove the user and add him again, him or her, and then set the new role. This will not have any effect on the project itself or the organization. Sorry.
It's because that, like, as an admin, you are on level grounds, so an admin can't remove an admin.
Okay. The user guide here. So are you going to share a copy of this webinar with the registered VVPs? Yeah, definitely. That's also part of this webinar series, is also not only to educate those interested, but also to have some resources which we can share. So definitely, we'll be sharing that. What will the next webinars be about? I will show that in our last slide. Is the roadmap available somewhere? No, it is not available, but that is definitely something that we will be publishing very soon. We are doing a lot of restructuring internally, so it's part of our it's part of a roadmap to have the roadmap more public facing. And then finally, will we be facilitating Article 6.2 credit trades anytime soon? This is a very handy, yeah, thank you. Handy dashboard and product. Congrats, team. Thank you.
So Article 6.2 credit trades. So there are, as of now, there are no project that has an LOA yet, but we have the procedures that have been aligned to the rule book on Article 6.2 or Article 6 called Article 6.2 procedures. And if a project that secures an LOA, we should be able to facilitate the issuance of such credits and then and hopefully trades in the future. But I don't see it in the near future. Just to be honest, based on what's happening in the space.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's just to not keep you too long. Let's just quickly run into slides again. So topics we were covering in this webinar. Hopefully we covered them well enough. And if not, then you can always just send us a question. And we will also be updating our user guide so you can access the information there more handily. But then, yeah, so in our upcoming webinars, which we will also just post via email, few topics. Obviously, the next topic that we want to go through is more of a deep dive of the VVP process, and also talking about probably future updates to that whole process, which we are currently working on. Also, a hot topic, you've issued credits, and then what? So we have a lot of features that are not maybe publicly available in a sense that people know of them, but we have been slowly rolling them out. For example, warehouses, where you can, as a project developer or proponent, deposit credits and make them available to all resellers on our platform. So instead of transferring credits to each different marketplace, you just make them available in your warehouse, and they are then transferred from your warehouse to the actual buyer on each transaction. Storefronts, which is pretty much just a checkout, both handy for suppliers themselves if they want to be selling directly to their buyers, so brought straight from supplier to buyer. Or if you are a market proponent, for example, you can create a storefront and connect to different suppliers on our platform. Then the disclosure center. We've been working a lot on managing and showing the story of the buyer, or having a dashboard where the buyers holding credits and retirements can better showcase their own disclosures and their historical emissions and how they've been compensating. And then digitization of the PDD. So moving a little bit earlier in the registration process, so helping you going through the PDD itself, and then also some other features that tie into that. And yes, just finally, and another exciting features on our roadmap, which we can't wait to share.
All right.
I think that concludes this session, and I'm just really, really happy to have so many people showing up. So thank you all for showing up, and I hope this was informative.
Yeah. Have a great end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, with fireworks.
Exactly.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye. Skulle bara be oss